What's up, YouTube? It's your boy JB, and we are here today with a new review for Life After Lockup, Season 3, Episode 45. I really wish we would stop titling. I really wish we would stop going into the 40s and the 50s at this point. Like, can we just go into Season 4 at this point? Like, that would be more logical, more plausible, a lot of other things. But, hey, it's Season 3, Episode 45, and the episode was titled, Is He a Trick? Honestly, I think he is a trick. He's something. But you guys, before we get into the review, if you guys are watching this video or any other video on the channel and are not yet subscribed to the channel, then I'm going to need you guys to do me a solid favor and stop taking me out on this date. Stop having me pay for it at the end of it, and hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, hit the notification bell button so you guys are notified when I drop anything else, you guys. Also, please share this video, you guys. That's the one thing I will ask you guys. Definitely share the video. It'll help me out in the grand scheme of things. Like I said, we're doing good with the numbers, but I wish that the views were just a little bit higher on my videos, right? But without further ado, you guys, let's go ahead and just talk about Life After Lockup, shall we? All right, you guys, so I think I'm gonna go ahead and get the couples out of the way that I don't feel gave me a lot to talk about in this episode. First up, Marcelo and Brittany, they're back. I'm not going to sit here and be like, I dislike Marcelo and Brittany, because I actually do like Marcelo and Brittany. But when it comes to Marcelo and Brittany, it's like, damn. I get it. It's a paycheck, but damn, y'all's storyline is kind of dry at this point, right? So you see Brittany. So Marcelo is actually in the pool with the kids, right? So Brittany comes home, and we find out that Brittany is trying to open up a sober living house, which, hey, I'm not gonna sit here and knock anybody's hustle, right? I'm gonna applaud Brittany, and I'm gonna give Brittany her kudos, right? So we're not gonna shit on Brittany by no means. So definitely not gonna do that. But the thing is, like I said, it's just really, why didn't you do the sober living house? Like, wouldn't this have been a better storyline? Do the sober living house last season, and then, well, it's not good either way. It's not good either way you put it, right? Sober living house. Hey, I got a sober living house. The whole story now is, let's get my mom into the sober living house. Not a good story, but it would have promoted your business, right? So Brittany, she's working with some other people, right? So Marcelino, he is okay. He's supportive of what Brittany is doing, absolutely. But Marcelino is much like me, right? You're going into business with people that he doesn't necessarily know them, and he's just, skeptical of, the money that y'all put into this sober living is money that y'all could have, stashed away for, college for the kids, or other things that need to be done. So I'm on his side, right? So then Brittany's business partner calls her, right? And she says that the money that they put into the account, she went to look at the account and the money is not there. Brittany says that there was over $80,000 into that checking account, right? So then my mind started doing a little bit of a thinking, right? So think about it. When you put money, like even when you put money into a bank account, right? They hold that money. That's one thing. They hold that money. Then they release the funds. But even think about it. When you go to withdraw money from your checking accounts, you can only withdraw a certain amount of money per day. So that's what I was thinking about. I'm like, something's not adding up to me. I'm not saying that they're lying, but something is just, maybe the story, maybe it could be a thing of he opened up a personal checking account instead of a business checking account, and they caught the error and they said, oh, sir, maybe you need to open up a business account instead of a checking account. I don't know. It could be a lot of different things, right? So so none of their names are on this account. And I was kind of like, really? So y'all put y'all money into an account that y'all don't have your name on it, which I get it. They're felons, so they can't really do that. But I'm sorry. I'm not going to put $8,000, $9,000, $10,000 into an account that doesn't have my name on it, that I can't have access to it. That I don't even know, you guys, I'm so sorry. I don't even know where I'm looking. Like, I'm just not about to do any stuff like that. But at this point, Brittany is not going to tell Marcelino. So we'll see. So that's what's going to be, I guess that's going to be their storyline, hers for sure, that this money is missing and she doesn't know what's what. But let's move on, you guys. All right, you guys. Next up, let's talk about Brittany and Ray. So Brittany and Ray. I'm kind of confused as to why they're on Life After Lockup, but I guess they had an interesting and juicy enough storyline to, secure them a spot on this season. Like I said before, I would have rather seen our regular couples that we normally have on Life After Lockup. I would have liked to have saw. I still want to know what's going on with Angela and Tony at this point. Angela and Tony. God help me for saying this one. Forehead Sarah and old ass Maria. Would love to know what's going on with them, right? Even a couple that always gets on my nerves every season of Life After Lockup, you guys know who that is. Andrea and Lamar. I would love to see them. Like, we're so used to those people, right? And I think that's what they could do, right? I think that's what they should. I think they should do that, right? Maybe they should alternate seasons that these people are on. Because I mean, with a storyline, it doesn't have to be bad things all the time. They could just give us drama. It don't have to be, our marriage is in peril. Oh, we're in financial, strains and stuff like that. It doesn't have to be that. I know that with this show, we live for the drama, but I mean, they can give us drama from wherever, right? But so yeah, Brittany and Ray, they're back. So Brittany, I will say one thing nice about Brittany. She upgraded her wig in her interview look, but in the scene, it's still that fat ass wig she's been wearing. I'm like, girl, damn. So she and Ray, they're out shopping for a bed, right? Now here's the thing that kind of caught me for a loop, right? So while they were sitting on one of the beds, they were talking. Now remember in the finale, which was last Friday, that Ray in his exit package, his little exit package, they said that Ray got a job. But in this episode, Brittany and Ray were talking about him getting a job. So I was like, did he get the job and lose the job, or was this, did he get the job after you guys filmed the first? Did he get, I don't know. It was just interesting. They were talking about a job. So Brittany is still on this whole thing of she wants, Ray to give her an engagement ring, and I'm like, girl, this man just got out of prison, and I kept thinking to myself, I'm like, girl, he just got out of prison. I'm pretty positive he has a restitution to pay, and lo and behold, he has a restitution to pay because he told her. I'm like, you didn't think that the man had restitution? Like, you think he's just getting out of jail and he doesn't have to pay this? He doesn't have to pay the state back anything. Girl, it's restitution. When most people go to jail, they go to jail for something that they did. They hurt someone, they stole something. Like, they're gonna owe somebody some money back. It's gonna be some restitution somewhere. He got a whole lot of money in restitution though. I forgot what he said. I'm just thinking to myself, like, so you really did not know that this man had restitution to pay? Okay, Brittany, girl, if you say so. I don't believe you, but if you say so, I don't believe you, but if you say so. But let's move on. Next, let's talk about Lacey, Shane, and John. Well, technically, there was no John. It's just Lacey and Shane. So Lacey, Lacey had her little baby girl, Summer, she's a beautiful, beautiful little girl. So cute. And when she was smiling, I was like, oh my God, she's so cute. Made me want to have a baby. So Lacey and Shane, they've had their baby Summer. And Shane tells Lacey that he's getting ready to go to the gym. And Lacey's like, she says, since having my baby girl Summer, things have become a little bit more difficult for Shane and I. So Shane, he quit his job. And, that's got to be hell, right? That's got to be hard. That's got to be hard, right? Because you guys remember, last season when Lacey had the baby, remember, she went to the hospital. They gave her the epidural. But you guys remember, the epidural did an air bubble and it went up to her brain. So at this point, she has back pain as well as, she has headaches. So he has to be home damn. So he couldn't, I'm not knocking, I'm not shading, because I know he's a felon. So I don't know if he has a high school diploma or a GED or what, right? I don't know what Shane has. But I'm just thinking to myself, like, Shane, so there were no work from home jobs that you could, there were no jobs that you could work from home and still be there for Lacey and still be there for the kids, right? That's what I was just thinking. But I'm again, like I said, I don't know what his education level is, so I'm not gonna assume, and I'm not gonna knock him. And I do actually I will say I do commend him, right? I commend him for being home with his family, but how y'all making money? I know y'all make money from the show. I know at one point you guys had an OnlyFans account, but I don't know how active they were on OnlyFans, and I don't know how many people actually subscribe to their OnlyFans, and so I don't know what's what with that, right? But so we see, so he's going to the gym, right? And in his interview package, when he was talking to the producers, Shane said something. He was talking about what it's been like, having a new baby, and it sounds like to him, he even said it. It sounds like it's kind of like he has postpartum depression, which I know women deal with it more, but I think a man can actually go through a bit of postpartum, right? So Lacey and her kids went out. She met up with her dad, and she's like, I'm just really stressed out. Shane, whenever she gets like really upset, Shane leaves and he goes to the gym. And and she says they're struggling to pay the bills. So then Lacey's dad asks if Shane has a girlfriend. She says, well, she doesn't know. Honestly, I don't think Shane has a girlfriend. If anybody got anybody on the side, no shade to you, Lacey. That's your MO. We know how you are when it comes to John. So no shade, Lacey. I'm not being shady. I'm just saying we know, your reputation kind of speaks for itself. No shade. Once again, no shade. So then we see them later on that night as they're in bed, right? Lacey wants to have sex with Shane, but Shane is like he's tired. And I'm thinking to myself when he said that, I'm like, Lacey, you don't think that maybe your husband is just a little bit depressed or something like that? Like, that's what I was thinking. And I get that Lacey, she's in the mood, she's horny, but your husband, you're not going to ask him, like, she did ask him if there was another woman he was giving it to. But instead of going that route, why do you ask him, is there something wrong? Like, most people say, am I not good enough for you? Never say that. But what you could have said is is there something that you're not telling me? Like, is everything okay with you? Like, are you happy? Are you, what's wrong? Like, ask those kind of questions, right? What I was not ready for was when Lacey pulled out that sex toy, that vibrator. I was like, oh, so they actually showed the vibrator. Okay, let's move on. All right, you guys. So next up, let's talk about Lisa and Stan. So I'm almost finished with the episode, and I realized this episode wasn't a lot. The one person who gave us a lot, we're going to talk about him in just a few minutes. But Stan and Lisa, so they're back. I will say Lisa got a new do in her interview. It still looks terrible. I'm like, girl, what is the hair attached to? Because in her scene, oh, I don't want to take my cap off. But in her scene, because my hair's growing back and I don't want y'all to see it. But in her scene, if you guys looked right here at Lisa's hair, she ain't had shit right there. I was like, damn, what are those extensions? Like they're fusions, but they look like micro braids. I'm like, girl, what are they attached to? They look a goddamn mess. Lisa, take them out of your head, burn them, throw them away. Don't ever let them see the light of day ever again. Get rid of them. They're not for you. They're not your best friend. Whoever put them in your head doesn't like you. Whoever sold them to you got one over on you. Jesus Christ. So we also found out that Stan went and got Lisa's name tattooed on his ass. I was like, wow. If that's not dumb, I'm so sorry. No shade to anybody that got people's names tattooed on them. It just wouldn't be me, right? I'm not getting nobody's name tattooed on me that I'm not gonna be with, that I know full fucking well I probably ain't gonna be with long term, right? I'm not gonna sit here now. I do have names tattooed on my body, yes I do, but the names on my body are people that are well, they're no longer with me. Well, one of them is myself. Like, I have my name tattooed on my leg. That was my first tattoo. I have my name tattooed on my leg with a crown above it, which is one whole tattoo, but I got it done separately, right? Got the crown first, got my name first, and then I got the crown above it. Damn, you know what? I'm looking at my crown like, damn, how did you sit through that? 'Cause my crown is big on my lid. Then I got my grandmother and my mother's name. So those are the only women, like, I put those women on my body. But I ain't put nobody else on my body that ain't my family. Like, like at one point, I'm going to get my little cousin her name. I'm going to get it tattooed right here, my birthday twin. But again, my family. Like, I'm putting my family on my body. I'm not putting nobody that I'm not even going to put anybody that even if we get married, I still don't know if I would do that, right? Maybe, maybe not. So, Stan was looking at the paper, right? I'm guessing Stan is doing stocks. I don't know. But he was talking about how much money he got, right? So either Stan is really, really cheap or Stan is on a budget. Someone is budgeting Stan's money. Because I just can't understand it, right? Because then he got that fake ass bologna that you put in the microwave and make. I'm like, even I won't eat that. That is not some bacon that I will ever buy. I am going to buy bacon in the package that you cook. You literally put in a skillet or in the microwave or in the oven. Or for me, I put it in my Ninja Foodie grill. Oh my God, it's so good. And the grease just drains, so that way when you take it out, there is no grease surrounding it. The grease is in the pan below. I miss my foodie grill. I'm so ready to get me a new apartment. So Lisa is going out with her friend, right? So Lisa's asking Stan for his credit card. Well, actually, she asked him for some money. He gave her 20. I was like, oh, Stan, I don't know what store she's going to, unless she's going to the Goodwill, and even at the Goodwill, $20 is not gonna go that far. I'm like, I don't know where she's gonna get some. I don't know what she's gonna get. I really want her to buy some. Girl, what happened to the Party City wigs that he bought you? I would much rather look at them ugly ass Party City wigs than that shit that is in your head currently, right? So eventually she asked for his credit card. Now Stan said he doesn't know what his limit is on his credit card. I'm like, well, that's mistake number one. So if she maxed out your credit card, you're gonna look like a whole dumbass fool. But go ahead, Stan. Stan gave her the credit card. So then we later see Stan. He's at the gym with his friends, and he's saying that he and Lisa they're cohabitating. Okay, one of them. But he's saying that she's not doing anything. The only thing she does is text, and that's when I was thinking about stuff about Lisa. Because most times when felons get out of jail, they have to get employment. Like my cousin, when he got out of prison, he had to find a job because what he was like. Yeah, I mean, come on. It's like I said, number one, restitution. And then you got to pay your PO. Like, you got to give your PO money and shit. So I'm just like, okay, Lisa, girl, what the fuck ever, right? Don't really care. Lost my train of thought because somebody just literally just ran past my car. You running in sandals? You running in sandals with no shirt on? Look kind of foolish, to be quite honest with you. Sandals. Never mind. Back to this. So we also see Lisa. So Lisa's meeting with her friend Natasha, someone that she met when she was in prison, and she says that she's talking to Natasha about Stan, and she says that she feels that Stan just wants her as a sex slave. Girl, you been knew that. So then Natasha says, okay, well, is he a sugar daddy or is he a trick? She says, well, no. Stan says he feels like Lisa wants him as a sugar daddy. You guys met on seeking arrangements, so of course she wants you as a sugar daddy. But the thing is, Lisa doesn't want to give him any sugar. I don't blame Lisa for not wanting to give Stan no sugar. So then Tasha asks if Stan is a trick. Lisa's like, he's not really a trick. Yes, he is a trick. Stop lying. But she says she wouldn't say he's a trick. You're lying. Then she's talking about she hasn't really asked him for any money, but he spent about $20,000 on her. I'm like, you didn't ask him for any money. You just asked him for some money before you came here with her. You asked him to buy you a car. You asked him to buy you a place to stay. That sounds like what? Oh yeah, money. So then she also tells her about her friend Renata that she's planning on meeting. I'm like, girl, okay, Lisa, you doing the damn thing, but okay. let's move on and wrap up the episode. Alright, you guys, this dumbass fool Shawn is back. Why is Shawn back? I just don't understand why Shawn's dumb ass is even back on Love After Lockup, Life After Lockup. So, he lets us know that Destiny is back in prison, which we knew that. And he says that Destiny has called him a few times and he's answered the phone. I'm like, you're an idiot. You are a complete idiot and you're a tool. The woman beat you up. The woman took your credit cards and your car. But you still talking to her. Kelly. Hey, Kelly. Once again, my sister. What did I tell you last season? I'm going to repeat it. I'm going to keep repeating it again this season. Kelly, you need to do yourself a favor and your kids. Ask WeTV for all the footage from this show, right? Every scene of Shawn on this show. Take it to the courts. Have the courts get in. Bring the courts in his life. Because since he don't care about his kids that much, put the courts in Shawn's life. Because you can't tell me that Shawn cares about his kids, right? So, also on top of that, Shawn is talking to a new girl by the name of Sarah. Now, mind you, he told us this last season that he was talking to Sarah at the season finale. I remember it. Because, like, oh my God, he's such a dumbass. So, he was actually talking to Sarah and to Destiny at the same time, right? So, he meets up with Kelly. Kelly, I would have slapped the fuck out of him. I'm sorry. I would have slapped the entire fuck out of Shawn. So, Shawn is talking to Kelly, right? He tells Kelly he quit his job and he's going to move to Ohio because of Sarah. I'm like, you are an idiot. I know you done maxed out your 401k behind Destiny's ass. So she said, so you lied to me. Well, he said, so technically I didn't lie because I was already talking to her. She's like, so have you spent money on her? He says, not. Well, he was trying to hem and haw, but yes, he has. To the tune of about $6,000 to $7,000. I'm like, what the fuck are you spending $6,000 to $7,000 for on an inmate? Where are they going? What are they going to do with it? Like, you spend all this money on these motherfucking inmates, but not your kids. Like, Shawn, I have not forgot about the fact that you took your daughter last season to Plato's fucking Closet to buy some school clothes. Plato's Closet, but you bought Destiny that ring. You spending $6,000 to $7,000 on this chick, but your daughter was in motherfucking Plato's Closet buying clothes. You's a piece of shit. Like, you are a piece of shit. You ain't shit. You will never be shit. Like, the fuck? You had your daughter in motherfucking... Again, now hear me out, you guys. Ain't nothing wrong with Plato's Closet, right? If you want to go to Plato's Closet, if you want to go to any kind of thrift store or consignment store, like I said, I worked at Goodwill. They bring some nice stuff. They're not gonna anything when it comes to these consignment stores. When people donate stuff to you, you sort through it, and if you sort through some stuff and you see that you be like, because like, well, I didn't work in the area where they did it, but if they needed help, we would definitely, like, if we got slow in the store, they would tell us, can you guys go back there and help the sorters out? So we would go back there and we would help them, and we asked, me and my best friend, we worked there, and we're like, so how do y'all determine what we get out there on the floor, right? They were like, we just look at it, and if it's not something that we would, if it's not something that we would wear ourselves, we don't do it. Like, if it's torn or worn, we toss it. If it looks like it's in mint or great condition, we'll put it out we will put it out, and that's how it is. So there's nothing. So I'm not saying that there's anything wrong with thrift stores or consignment stores. Hell, I bought shit from Goodwill. I have actually some of the stuff in my apartment that I have came from Goodwill. Like, I have a George Foreman grill, bought that from Goodwill. What else did I bought? I have some clothes that then, I have some clothes that you would never even believe came from there. Like, I have a tie, and my tie is in good condition. You would never believe that tie came from a thrift store. Literally would never believe that it came from a thrift store. And I actually got this tie when I was in college, right? Because I had this class called How to Get a Job, and they prepared us for going to the workforce. It was just before I graduated. going off on a tangent, but we'll get back on the show. So they picked some. Well, actually, it was a whole entire class. Actually, it was our entire class. It was my entire class. You could pick and you could, if you wanted to participate in it, you could participate in, how to get a job, where they would take you to. They took us to Goodwill. They let us pick out our clothes. Now I didn't pick out no shoes because I've always had shoes. I just didn't have a tie. And I think that was really the only thing that I got. And I got a tie and a shirt because I'm like, the shirt looks really good. I'm like, because I was iffy about going to Goodwill. I'm like, I don't really want to buy other people's clothing. But then they told us they don't put, and we went there. They're like, we don't put things out that we wouldn't necessarily wear ourselves. So it is what it is. But I just have issue with Shawn taking her to a thrift store. So then this fool, he's lying to this girl about how many kids he got. I'm like, dude, why do you lie about how many kids you have? That is disgusting. Then you lying about your age. Shawn, you don't look nowhere near 32. That is a disrespect to me because I am 32 years old, and you don't even look. You look twice my age. So then this nutcase called Kelly selfish because he wants Kelly to meet the girlfriend Sarah so that the kids can meet her. I'm with Kelly. No, I'm not doing that. Absolutely not. Yeah, Shawn is a goddamn nutcase. But that's the episode, you guys. Let me know what you guys thought about it. Leave your comments in the comment section below. Subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell button so you guys are notified when I drop anything else. And share a video. On to the next one, you guys. Stay safe out there. Take care of yourselves. Remember to wash your hands, wear a mask, socially distance, be blessed, and I'm going to catch you guys in the next one. Bye, guys. So there's not going to be any love and marriage tonight. So I will just see you guys again on Sunday for Real Housewives of Potomac, as well as Power Book 3, Raising Canaan. Bye, guys.